Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Should Paul Pogba stay or go? Personally, I want him to stay. Now Paul Pogba is discussing personal terms with PSG. According to Tutto Mercato Web, Manchester United are set to receive a €60 million bid from PSG for Paul Pogba. PSG have not made formal contact with Manchester United over Pogba. He said that Paul Pogba is close to reaching an agreement to join PSG. Now, Foot Mercato said that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer, and it says Man United could demand 4 players as part of the Paul Pogba swap deal with PSG. But the other week it said that PSG had stepped up their chase. They want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. Julian Lawns the other week said that PSG were considering making a move, and Fabrizio Romano mentioned that PSG are interested in signing Paul Pogba, and he said that they had made contact with his representatives. Mino Raiola obviously held talks with PSG's president. If we are to let Paul Pogba go in this summer transfer window, we need to get a good adequate replacement for him. Now, it recently said that Barcelona are working tirelessly on a swap deal for Paul Pogba. It says they're willing to offer us Antoine Griezmann and Samuel Umtiti as part of the Pogba deal. Pogba's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. So he's had a long running transfer saga. Paul Pogba decides to allow his contract to run down, then he'll make a decision on his future next summer. A new contract for Paul Pogba at Manchester United could see him stay at the club for the rest of his career. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Sky Sports News said at one point that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. It said, "We wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth $104 million. He said, "We did fear losing Pogba on a free transfer." As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. At one point last season though, he was out with a thigh injury for a while. So, there you go. Mino Raiola, who's Paul Pogba's agent, he's been desperate to get Paul Pogba out of the football club. Did a lot of talking last season. and he made an announcement back in December last year regarding Pogba. He said Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he was unhappy and he has to leave, and he said he had no intentions of extending his contract. Ollie was furious with his agent's announcement. Now, you know the news on Raphael Varane. J. Felix Diaz have said that Manchester United have to offer more money for Raphael Varane or the deal will not happen. Raphael Varane's departure from Real Madrid is imminent. Fabrizio Romano said recently that Raphael Varane confirmed to Man United that he's ready to accept our contract bid. He said that Man United are preparing a €50 million bid. He said yesterday an agreement between Manchester United and Real Madrid for Varane is hours away. Raphael Varane has told Real Madrid that he wants to join Manchester United this summer. Varane has definitely decided to leave Real Madrid. He returned to Real Madrid training yesterday. Sky Sports did mention at one point that we'd been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. Varane has agreed the personal terms with Man United and he's set to sign a 5-year contract with us, which will keep him at Man United until 2026. Raphael Varane and his family not so long ago were allegedly house hunting in Manchester, and we received a massive boost in our pursuit of Varane, because he says Real Madrid's wages are forced to be slashed by 150 million. He said the other week that Varane's move to Man United could have been delayed, because he said Varane would have been happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. But Varane has had positive discussions with Man United and he has told Florentino Perez that he wants to leave Real Madrid. So it's looking imminent that he's going to be our third signing of this summer transfer window. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Woodward was also prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. You know, he's endured 10 years or so at Real Madrid, so he's been a long-serving player. Won a lot of trophies as well, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. Made 360 appearances for Real Madrid in all competitions. His current contract expires next year. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Swap deal was discussed at one point. It says Man United were willing to offer Paul Pogba or Donny van de Beek as part of the Varane deal. Not so long ago, Real Madrid lost Sergio Ramos. He joined PSG on a free transfer. I'm expecting Man United to make 2 more signings after Varane. as you all know, we've been linked with Kieran Trippier. We're also linked with Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. And we're still in for Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. He obviously identified the areas where he wants to strengthen up. But I'm expecting Man United to endure a very good summer transfer window, because I am very convinced that Solskjaer is now going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. So far we have made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. Brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Villa, and we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. It's about time Solskjaer got the backing he deserves, because he wasn't backed enough for a while. But our board made it clear, didn't they? Was it just before the summer transfer window opened, or at the beginning they said they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract. And before the summer transfer window opened, Ollie had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. You know, there's a lot of good players at Manchester United. And these players that have really, really improved. You know, I think Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him. He endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. I'm hoping that he's going to be our number 1 for next season, but at one point said that Solskjaer's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 for next season. But yeah, I think he'll be staying with us, even though it did say Henderson's future was in doubt following the arrival of Tom Eaton. We have got too many goalkeepers. David De Gea, I reckon that he's still a good goalkeeper despite the amount of mistakes he's made in the last couple of years. A few years ago, David De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club. He's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. He's been a long servant. David De Gea has endured 10 years at Manchester United. He's been with us since the Ferguson era, and he's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us. David De Gea is on £375,000 a week, and he's got, is it 2 years or just under 2 years left on his current contract. It looks like David De Gea is staying at Manchester United for next season, because David De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for a starting place. It's said though that David De Gea is determined to fight for his future. Said he was set for talks with Solskjaer after the Euros over his future, because ESPN said that De Gea was unsure on Solskjaer's final decision. Not so long ago it said that De Gea could have been loaned out by Man United next season to make room in the goalkeeping department. If we was to sell David De Gea though in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. Wait a second. Just put my phone on charge. Luke Shaw, I think he's also improved. Luke Shaw was our best player last season. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. And he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw has been with us now for over 7 years. I thought Luke Shaw did very well for England during the tournament. Fabrizio Romano mentioned not so long ago that we're in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. I think Luke Shaw's got just under 2 years left on his current contract. And Luke Shaw's going to be staying at Manchester United. I think Harry Maguire is a decent centre-half. There's probably still certain aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Maguire's had good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. It was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. And I thought he did well for England during the tournament. We overpaid for Harry Maguire though. We got him for £80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. Harry Maguire will stay at Man United. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half, but my element of concern about him is injury-prone, so in that aspect he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024 with an option of a further year, so reflecting on that, he's going to be staying with us. We got Eric Bailly back in 2016 from Villarreal. We paid £30 million for him. So Bailly's been with us now over 5 years. I also think Wan-Bissaka is very, very good. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, Bissaka has always been superb, but he has got to show more attacking intent. Bissaka, I think, has got a long-term future at Man United. He's enjoyed 2 full seasons at the club. We got Bissaka for £50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Obviously, Paul Pogba's improved. Scott McTominay, he's also a decent player. McTominay certainly needs more time at the club. Can he emulate to that level where I want him to be at? McTominay's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Donny van der Beek, he's a decent player. I haven't really had much of a perception on him though since he become a Manchester United player because he's hardly started. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. He's made around 36 appearances for us in all competitions, but most of them appearances have come from the bench. He's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. And there's a good chance he'll be leaving in this summer transfer window. It says that Barcelona have 4 players that we could accept as part of the deal for Van der Beek. Inter Milan have been interested in Van der Beek before. Real Madrid have been interested in him, and so too have Arsenal. Before the Euros, it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future, and he got ruled out of the Euros, didn't he, through injury. We wasted his money on Van der Beek. We got him for like £40 million. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. Van der Beek is versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Bruno Fernandes, obviously he's very, very good as well. Bruno Fernandes is our best player and he's one of the best signings we have made since Ferguson retired. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. But we have overplayed him. Fernandes has been at Man United now for a good 19 months or so. He did win Player of the Year at one point, and he's won Player of the Month a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes is going to be staying with us, obviously. Fabrizio Romano did mention not so long ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. He said towards the end of last season, we are willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. He's on £100,000 a week at the moment. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. We got Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Got him in a deal worth just over £67 million. Mason Greenwood, he's also very, very good as well. He's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract, which he did deserve, reflecting on his good performances. You can play Greenwood on the right, you can also play him centrally. Greenwood's obviously going to be staying at Man United. Marcus Rashford is good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve, because Rashford's endured his bad periods and he's become injury prone as well, which is a concern. Rashford is going to be out until the end of October because he did decide to undergo surgery on his shoulder. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Rashford's going to be staying. I think Juan Mata's a good player, but I think we should offload him. Looks like we're not going to, because not so long ago Mata extended his contract with Man United until June 2022. Mata's been at Man United now for over 7 years. We got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. He's made over 200 appearances for us in all competitions. The first part of last season he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. But Juan Mata, he's ageing up. Plus he's lost that yard of pace. He can play as number 10, you can put him out on the right hand side. Edison Cavani, he's also very good as well. Made a fantastic impact since he's coming. I'm glad he's staying for next season. Towards the end of last season, Fabrizio Romano did say that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. So there you go. But yeah, the players that could leave Man United in this summer transfer window is Brandon Williams. There's a good chance he's going to go out on loan to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities. Williams is our third choice left back. He seldom plays for us. Telles could possibly leave because he's been subjected to transfer speculation recently. He recently said Inter Milan want Telles on loan, and Sky in Italy said that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles. Jones could be leaving. We've agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go. I think Delor's going to be leaving. He was out on loan with AC Milan. Andres Pereira, I think, is going to be leaving. Was out on loan with Lazio. Pogba could be leaving, and good chance we're going to go into offload Donny van de Beek. I initially thought Martial, Matic and De Gea were leaving, but looks like now they're staying. But like I say, Solskjaer's ambition for next season is to win the Premier League. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and he is aware of that. So let's see how many more signings we can make before the summer transfer window shuts. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.